Everyone good? Is everyone getting excited as the days get closer? You know, I don't ever remember October 11th being so important. It was it's a big one now, but I got a few things I want to remind you about, and then April will cover some things too. We're going to try and keep it just to 30 minutes tonight because first and foremost, the most important thing we could be doing is closing out the month. And we got the rest of tonight and tomorrow, and the month closes out. So we want to leave as much time as possible to do that. Um, but first things first, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, were on Monday's Zoom last Monday. And first thing I want to do is just say congratulations. It is absolutely so freaking exciting to fill up Zoom so that people and guests and consultants couldn't get on. And the frenzy that it creates when people try and log in and it says it's full is unbelievable. And I'll tell you how it rolled over to the next day. And I've opened it up now. I went to a different account where we can hold 500 now. So I dare you to fill that one up. Okay. But what was really exciting is we were over 100 before we started, and 50 or 60 different names tried to join after that. And that resulted in the replay. Okay, when we gave out the replay to everybody, the very first 24 hours, the replay was watched 132 times. And that has never happened. Honestly, no replay has ever been watched 132 times. It could be out there for a year and not get what. Sometimes I wonder why we even record it, because nobody uses it. That very next day it was watched over 130 times. And that shows you the FOMO that was involved, the fear of missing out. That shows you the kind of excitement that was there. And I just want to say congratulations, but I'm hoping, and April is said this many, many times in her trainings on these Zooms, that it's up to you and I to assume the people that we invited attended, that they were there, and to follow up with each and every one of them as if they had been there and watched, and ask them, what did you love most about it? How excited did you get? Just, to follow up with them. So if you haven't done that, you need to do it. I know it's 6, 7 days later now, but you still need to do it. And the replay was available in less than an hour. Okay, we had that up and in the Collagen Picks. We had it on our YouTube channel, and we texted it to all the different groups. So if you didn't get the replay, it's because you didn't ask. Okay, because it was available within an hour after it was done. So that just gives you an idea. When we build for an event and when we use excitement and deadlines in the process, that's what can happen. Okay. And I want to, matter of fact, let's see. Okay, let me go to the slides and cover a couple things that I want to talk about that lead right into this. So okay, so I've always talked about the value of energy and excitement and enthusiasm. Okay, it overrules everything else that we think is important, like studies, like facts, like information, like just general information. People are looking, and you've heard me say this before, they don't necessarily believe what they see or hear when they first see or hear it. But one thing they are doing each and every time they're looking at you or looking at me or April, whoever it happens to be, sharing the information, they're looking to see, do we believe in it? Do we believe in what we're talking about? Do we believe in what we're using? Do we believe in what we're preaching? Okay. And their belief will come based on ours. And if you're wavering, if you're not firm, okay, and the firmness, I don't mean being tough about it, and I don't mean being loud or obnoxious about it. I mean being truthful and energetic and excited about it, okay? Do you know there isn't much that you can't say if you're excited when you're saying it and enthusiastic when you're saying it? I mean, people are very, very forgiving with what comes out of your mouth if it's coming from your heart enthusiastically and excitedly. I mean, that's the way it is. So keep that in mind, because we have two really big, launches, Zooms, opportunity presentations in October that are going to be focused on the GLP-1. And guess what? They're going to be able to buy it. Okay. They're going to be able to order it. They're going to be able to buy it. I'm going to tell you, you should keep some of it in stock also. Okay. Now, I don't mean just for your own usage, but this is a product that you should at least have a few months on hand, just when the opportunity presents itself on short notice, that you could take advantage of it. But I'll go into that in a second. We want to close this month out strong. Obviously, we got the rest of tonight, all tomorrow, up to midnight Mountain tomorrow night. Did you get the message out to everybody that they can order the entire product line minus our staples, our Protandim and collagen products? They can order the whole product line at 20% off. Okay. And, and I know a lot of people are, because I see a lot of the orders and enrollments and customers and things going in, but that's a great way to close out the month. That's a great way to hit rank. That's a great way to hit Emerald and Onyx and Sapphire and Diamond. That is a good way to bump yourself up. Okay. Now, I already mentioned that, again, we have to midnight tomorrow night to do that, but the two opportunity launch Zooms are, and I'll post the invites right after this is over in Collagen and in our training groups on Facebook, but it's October 14th and October 28th, okay, are the two. And keep in mind, the 14th is the Monday night right after we get home, okay, right after we get home from Kansas City. Now, those of you not going, to Kansas City, I mean, I wish you were all coming. I know you're not all coming, but, you need to be prepared for that. You need to be inviting for that. For the ones in Kansas City, you need to be letting them know the product's available and getting them on that informative launch on the 14th. Okay. You need to be doing that. And the easiest way to do that is to have your call/text list ready. Okay, have it ready, whether it's, in your phone. I always like to have it printed on top of whatever electronic thing I may be using, whether it's calendar or notes or my phone or texting, whatever it might be. Printing it's a pretty good idea, but you can't be looking for who you're going to send a message to. You can't be looking for what that message is. Okay, you got to have that pre-prepared, okay, in advance, whatever that message is going to be typed out, where you just got to copy and paste, and that's it. Okay. And the only thing you may want to add to that is the exact page on where they can order it on your website. Okay. But that message you want, in advance, okay, ready to go. And you want that list ready to go. So this is the ultimate time to be dialing for dollars, folks. This is dialing for volume. This is dialing to go to Alaska. This is dialing for rank advancement. I mean, this is dialing for the company to have the biggest volume month it's ever had. This is calling and texting and dialing so that our stock can go from $13 to $20 or $25. I know everybody's excited about 13. It went up $6, $7 in a month, but what if the 13 became 26? How excited would you be then? This is our opportunity to take a lot of control over what's going on with rank advancements, trips, not to mention earnings, okay, and everything else that goes with it. So obviously, October 11, 12, we're going to be in Kansas City at the convention, and it's the GLP launch. But these are the dates you need to be prepped for, and you need to be inviting, okay? And I said it's October 14th, the opportunity, Zoom for GLP launch. And the 28th, we're going to do it again, but obviously that is going to include closing out the month. Okay, not only is it going to be about the GLP, and I'm in love with the product. I'm a little depressed. I'm out. Okay, I'm down 11 pounds being on the GLP-1. I know April was down 7 last time she told me, and we split the product, so we didn't quite make it to the 11th, but I am very, very excited about the product because nothing has ever taken 11 pounds off me in a month without me trying to starve myself to death and being hangry. You know what hangry is? When you're hungry and angry at the same time. And this has been really, really good. Okay. And I know a lot of people that, that are getting great, great results with it. So we changed it up to include the GLP-1 on the invites for the 14th and 28th. Also claimed that changed the heading a little bit and just said you're invited to learn more about our, new all-natural GLP-1 product, no needles or shots. And so obviously you're always free to make your own invite. For some of the new people that may be on, I'm just going to give you a secret. You can block out the Zoom number and say, reach out to me for the Zoom number. You're welcome to do that. You're welcome to make your own invites. But just between you and I, that number never changes. Every month it's the same. That number you use tonight to get on this is the same number we use for our opportunity Zooms. Okay, it never changes. So if you're ever not sure what it is, just go to last week's or last month's and it's the same number. It doesn't change. So let me stop sharing here. I will add these to where you can get them. And April, what do you got?
Okay. How's everybody doing? You had a good weekend so far? I got a lot of stuff. I'm going to kind of be all over the place. Bobby and I have had a great month, an absolute great month. We've had people coming from every different direction. I would say, especially if you're going into Kansas City, have a pre-conversation. I have pages of people that want the product. And again, this is an exciting time in our business, and I'm going to flip it to opportunity. But this is going to be a super easy product to sell. But have a pre-conversation with them now. Follow up with people, get the conversation. If you've got anything on Facebook, they're watching. All you have to do is pick up the phone, have a conversation. They're going to ask you about it. My own mother's hinting around about it. She all of a sudden she's like, I can't keep my weight down, and she's just going on and on. And it's so funny because I know I find people won't come out and ask, but they kind of like dance around. Just start to have conversations. I literally have pages. And so many of you know I've been using a texting service, and I talk about it a lot. I had to make a separate category just for the people that want it from all different kind of backgrounds. I mean, like physicians, lay people, everywhere in between, because it's of interest to everyone. If a quarter or a tenth even of those people sign up, Bobby and I are going to have a bonanza month, just a bonanza month. But again, it's because I've spent the last time. And of that, we've had, I don't even know, just this weekend. And so this is going to be my other thought. Just this weekend, we had 2 new essential, the activation stack going into this. So your people need to be activated. So all month I've been saying you need to be activated so you can get the best results. Sandy McClure had a great word, and I'm trying to think, supersize. If you want to supersize your results with the GLP-1, you better be activated now. That gets more people buying that package at 15% off. But again, if you're not having these conversations, you're not going to get these people started. They should be started today, not going in. We had a lot of people that, because I had conversations, they bought the Axio and the Fat Burn because it's 20% off. And we still have all day tomorrow to talk about this. So product sales have never been easier. It's going to be super easy. But what's even more important, I'm going to tell you, I took the sales, like Bobby was talking about the stocks. And so I just sent out a text message to people that are interested in the business. And I just said, I talked about a business and a stock tip. Do you want a business and a stock tip? Now, I've been talking to these people all along about our business. I get so many calls for bookings tomorrow to be able to talk to them because the stock tip, and this is what I talked about last week, the stock tip is proof that we are going somewhere. People need proof. One of the best things and one of the best tools you can get or at in this business is to be able to share some kind of vision, where our company is going, where you're going. People have no vision. I mean, it's amazing to me, the conversations I have with people that bring business to me, and they've never thought of all the different things that can go on with that business. It's like they're tunnel vision. So you have to get really good at creating vision. But that stock tip or the stock, picture, you can show it, creates vision for people. They need that black and white vision and they can get excited about that. So let's get better at sharing some kind of vision because everybody's going to be able to sell the product. Nobody's going to have problems selling the product. This is a huge, huge market. So no better time to get a new consultant in, believing one, that they can get results, but that they can share this with people. The belief is going to be huge. But you know what? We need to get in on the beginning of this curve and not wait for a lot of proof to be going on for other people to be doing it. Because the other thing that's going on in this market, in this arena, is it's getting busy. A lot of drug commercials. A lot of people want that quick fix. But you know what also is popping up? One of our consultants, I don't know if he's on here, sent it to me, a new one. The drug claims. The lawyers are already after who's gotten negative side effects with these shots. It may be, if you remember Fen-Phen years ago, everybody was taking Fen-Phen, the diet pills and stuff, and then all of a sudden all the heart problems came out and stuff. Well, we just happened to have a natural weight loss product at that point. And Jay, you may remember, that blew up our doctor market, blew it up. I mean, it was just amazing what happened. But had we not been laying all these little stones out there, that never would have happened. So it's your job now to start talking more business to people. Don't you want to get in before everybody knows about it? Don't you want to get in? I mean, last recording, I heard there's only like 60, 70,000 consultants, here. Crazy, crazy numbers. So when you talk to people, look, 82% of people want to lose weight. Who can't you sell this to? They are going to see you. They're going to see all the before and afters, So it's going to be a really easy sell for somebody to get product sales. Once they get product sales, they get this belief. Remember, I talked about that last week. The biggest problem and why I drip on people, and if you want to talk a little bit about Project Broadcast, I'm not going to hold your hand. I'll lead you in the right direction with the texting. But if you consistently drip on people every week, finally you just wear them out and they're finally like me because they see enough consistency. They see enough good things going on that they're finally like me. I need to get in. I need to do this because they don't believe they can do it. Our business is so different. It's not like that restaurant down the street. It's not like something that they can feel, see, and touch. And that's the biggest problem we have in this business. But it's also the bonus because we don't want walls. We don't want to have to show up at a certain time. We don't want a boss. We don't want physical inventory. So we don't want the feel, see, and touch. We get excited about not having the feel, see, and touch, but then we can't explain why we don't have, the feel, see, and touch. So we need to just get really good at that, sharing the vision. But take that stock tip. Put it on Facebook. That should be a great post for everyone. Look what's going on with my company. It's so exciting. Somebody wrote a good quote. I forget who it was, but again, I think it was Warren Buffett. He talked about, getting in before that curve takes off. This is where we need to get in. The drug companies are just going to start to get hammered now. When you start seeing the lawyers come out for their big money and stuff, that's going to start to be all over because they know that there's stuff going on there and they're going to be after it. And then people are going to want those benefits before these other companies come in. So one of the real bonuses, I think, for those that are going to Kansas City and super important is they're going to spend time on the product. Because there's a lot of GLP-1s or claims to be GLP-1s, but they're really just
Probiotics renamed.
probiotics. Yeah,
Yep.
big probiotics. They're not a GLP-1 activator. They don't have the studies. If you just saw the human trial is done, they've got that now. So we've got the in vitro, we got the human. I'm sure they're waiting to release it till we're in Kansas City because I already tried to get the in vitro and couldn't get that one. So I'm sure they're not going to give me the human trial. But you'll have more proof to be able to show people, look, this stuff works. It works for me. It works for you. It works for everyone. It's natural. It's healthy. It's good for you. So everybody's going to want it. And like I said, the sales are going to be super easy. So Bobby mentioned 20% off. As far as who we're going to talk to, oh, the other thing is we're down to the end of the month. Do you have coupons left? You should not have any coupons left. If you've got a coupon for a customer or a consultant, make a deal with somebody. Figure it out. I mean, 10% off. You look at somebody that is wants to sign up to be able to get their product a little bit cheaper, maybe share the word with a few people. If they even just do that 50 pack with the collagen, the 250 pack, you'll see the 10% takes 25 off. They're still getting their collagen, plus they're getting the True Renew in there as a freebie. So it's all the way that you want to spin it, who you want to be able to go out and talk to some people. And your customers or whoever you're talking to, if they want to refer somebody, if they're talking. I can tell you when I go down my list of, whoever joined this month and stuff, I can tell you who will be good at just talking about the product and not so much the business. But then that gives you more people to be able to follow up with and talk to and find out who their markets are. So it's never, ever been a better time for us to be able to build this business. We have to get out and start talking to people. And if you feel uncomfortable with this, talk to the people. Like I had a lady today sign up, and weekends are good too. I want to put this fallacy out there. It was so cool. You saw, I had my 3 boys here this weekend, my granddaughter, and it was a real great family weekend. And we had a blast. We had so much. So it was a little bit more hectic.
Yeah.
And 2 dogs. Yeah. So Bobby and I don't have any animals. So it was very, very hectic and chaotic but in a very good way. And, I'm exhausted, but I enjoyed it. And it's just the best for a mom anyway. So it was very chaotic, but interesting. My sons have always seen me work this business in little pieces here and there. So on Saturday, we had 2 people do that activated essentials. And he got in from golf and he thought, well, maybe this is a good time to make some calls. I'm like, absolutely, go make some calls. He took my computer, he went in the spare bedroom. And do you know, he said either 7 or 8 calls in a half hour.
He sells, in case he's not in business with us, he sells Generac generators. So they're $20,000 orders, and 10 to 20,000 is what people are booking appointments for, just so you know. And this was on a Saturday afternoon.
Right. So, I know people feel, and he felt weird. And this is what I'm trying to say. I think so many people think there's like a Monday through Friday type of thing. Maybe I shouldn't call. And I was trying to get him to make calls today because we had a new consultant come in today. Well, what if I would have said Sunday is, strictly, a holy holiday and I shouldn't reach out to anyone. And everybody's preference is going to be different. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people. And this is why I send my text message out Sunday evening, because there's a lot of people already dreading going back to work. So to me, Sunday evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock is prime time to be able to talk to people because they hate what they're doing and they may just be motivated enough to get involved with you and do something about it. So I think, I wish he would have made a few calls on Sunday, but he hasn't gotten to that point yet. He's not comfortable with it. But I just hope you're not like Monday through Friday. And, we've always said, Bobby and I, we do this business, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So if there's somebody around that we want to talk to, or we want to make calls, or, that's the beauty of the business. He's going off to play pickleball in the morning. Well, if he had a traditional job, and sometimes they can't get enough people for pickleball because they have real jobs that they have to report to on time.
Everybody I play with in the morning basically works from home. the ones that have to go to work, they can't play from 7:30 to 9:30, but the ones that work from home can start a half hour later at home.
Yeah. But they are still scooting in because some of them are like,
Yep.
I gotta go, I gotta be dressed at 9, or I gotta be this, or I gotta be that. Bobby never has to worry about that. But he knows if there's a call Friday night or Saturday afternoon or Sunday sometime, then he'll make his call. Some of those times we need to think about working when traditional people are not working. 9 to 5, they got their job, probably have a boss looking over their shoulder. I mean, it's amazing. I've got a girlfriend that does some kind of medical sales stuff, and she sits at a computer all day long, and they literally have her timed for two 15-minute break and a half hour for lunch. And she cannot move from that computer. They must have her on camera or something,
They
but
do.
she,
She's on camera 20,
she
the whole 8
cannot
hours.
move from that. She's just tied down. And I think, well, what if you had a stomach ache or you had diarrhea or, something going on? It's really uncomfortable at that point. But, so some of them, do need to be in. But, again, so you've got to treat this business 24/7 all the time. When people are around, when you think about it, it's the best way to be in business and not have all those limitations of the walls I was talking about. So go to the people that you've previously had customers, reach out, start talking to them. Your old consultants that maybe have been inactive forever, talk to them, see what you can do with them. Those are two easy people to talk to because they already know what you're doing. They already know we have great products. It's funny, I find sometimes people get off the product, and I've heard this more and more. Maybe they were on Protandim for a few years and then they kind of get off and they miss it, but they don't call you. And then all of a sudden, because I actually had a customer come back this month because she just kind of got off of it. It wasn't using it, and then all of a sudden she hears about the collagen and now she knows about the GLP-1 and stuff. But you have to reach out and have these conversations. Just say, how are you doing? You can say, I used to say I came across your name or I saw your name in my phone book and thought of you. I thought I'd give you a call. If you see somebody on Facebook, instead of just commenting there where there's, so many comments, put something in the messenger part and start a conversation that way and ask how they're doing and stuff. So, technology has never, ever made this easier, but we have to have these conversations. The more conversations you have, the more success you're going to have. And there's no way around it. So that's why I keep getting back to this texting and stuff. You can send out literally hundreds and thousands of texts all at once, and you can keep in contact with your whole organization at once. Wouldn't that be great? Just to keep dripping on them, whatever went on that week, And if you don't even want to talk business all the time, then drop something that went on in your life personally. Some weeks maybe it's a product testimony, a new recipe you thought was cool, a picture of your family. Make it more, if you're more comfortable that way, fine. And I'll always give you an idea on what my texts would be, but you just get better over time. And Bobby and I are just seeing the return on our texts is just, it's getting so much better because they've come very accustomed to that exact time every Sunday. Some people probably hate my texts coming in. They're probably like, oh, her again, because now it's painful. They either got to get in or out. They got to go back to work and hate their world. And if they don't get in, they hate themselves for not doing it. So it's kind of on both sides, So they probably hate when the text comes in. But anyway, so we have an industry disruptor, and this will never have been a better time to get people involved. So, but you can tell we're fired up, right, Bobby?
No, there's folks, there's always indicators that you see before things happen. Let me ask you something. Now, as distributors with a publicly traded company, you have to understand that we're among the last to know things because we're not even employees. We're not corporate. Okay. We may own stock, but you have to keep in mind, we had a weight loss product that was being studied at Johns Hopkins University in our first company. And April and I happened to be very close with the doctor that led to that being happening. You do know when a double-blind study is being done by a credible organization or medical institution or whatever it might be that's doing it, you do know they are giving monthly updates on how it's going, right? You do understand that. You're not just sitting for 6 months or a year waiting to see what happens. They are giving results. Like we knew this weight loss product we had in the old company, and this was before Ephedra got a bad rap. We knew the product was performing well before the study was done. We knew that. Well, let me ask you a question. And we were distributors there. We just happened to know someone who was in the in, okay, with that. Do you think some of the people that own millions of dollars of our stock or some of our board members may have a little bit of a heads up on how our GLP-1 is performing in double-blind human studies? What do you think? Do you think the stock doubling in price may have something to do with some people that may know a little bit more than you and I know? You're kidding yourself if you think that's not happening, okay? What April mentioned with showing a picture of the increase of the stock over the last 30, 35, 40 days, if you're not marketing that, you're nuts, okay? That is the proof, okay? That is the proof that whatever it is you've been talking to them about is valid. That is proof, okay? Now, besides that, the constant reaching out, let me ask you something. If you went back this week, okay, to every person that you spoke to but said no, they said no about Protandim or collagen, okay, they said no. Do you know if you reach back out to all the people that have said no to you, 82% of them are going to have an interest in revisiting that no that they said? Why? Because 82% of people are looking or concerned about their weight. And you never hit them up with GLP-1, and they can't get away from GLP-1 because the shots are on TV all morning long during the news. They just repeat continuously. There's 5 or 6 pharmaceutical companies. The big one's Ozempic, but there's 5 or 6 others, not mentioning the compounding pharmacies that are making them. But you do realize that GLP-1 and weight loss is in people's heads, but they associate it with getting a needle. And whether you like needles or not, most people don't. Okay, they don't. I know when I give myself testosterone shots, I'm not a sissy about it, but I would rather not stick the needle in my stomach, okay? I mean, if there was a better, easier way to do it, I would prefer it. But, you know, so you got to go back to those people and say, hey, I want to let you know what's about to get launched. I'm giving you a heads up, but look at what's happening with the stock. Okay, it's not even out yet. It doesn't come out to the 11th. I'm letting you know in advance. That's the conversations that you got to have with people, and you got to do it enthusiastically and excited, and it needs to be sincere. Okay, and you will get. And, you know, like I said, I love that supersize thing that Sandy McClure said. Yeah. It reminds me of, you know, going to McDonald's with the kids all these years, okay, when they were kids, and you'd order, you know, a meal, and they'd say, do you want to supersize that? They made that line famous, supersize. That was McDonald's, okay, asking if you want to supersize the shake or the drink or the fries, you know? I mean, folks, this is it, man. Get off of your concern about what other people think and get loud and be proud and be excited. This is your moment. You've been waiting. You know, I think I looked yesterday, I think we enrolled 9 new consultants and 2 new customers this month, okay? I don't know if we've had 9 new consultants in a month before, but I'm not sure that we did. Okay, that's probably our biggest month for consultants in almost 7 years that we've been here. Okay, but our funnels are so packed. I mean, we have so much in our funnels now. That needs to be you. If you got names in your phone, if you got names on Facebook, okay, I'm telling you, you know, we have so many different. We have a whole pickleball group waiting to hear when it comes out. We have a whole church group waiting to hear when it comes out. We have a whole group of family people waiting to hear when it comes out. Not counting the advertising we've been doing, all the social media stuff. Folks, this is it. This is it. and you need to treat it like it is it. Okay, or you will get really mad at yourself as the next 2 or 3 months go by if you do not go all in on this. Okay, you will get really mad at yourself because you're going to be watching people that got in after you. You're going to be watching people that came in, that haven't even joined yet, that are going to join and surpass you. Okay, and I'm not being mean, folks. We've been there. We know what that feels like. We've been in this industry 32 years. We spent 25 with our first company. I'll never forget when this bodybuilding guy flew over from Holland wearing workout clothes. And 2 years later into the company, he was the top earner in the world. Man, he ended up becoming a very close friend, but I hated him for a long time. Okay. It's like, I know you're not supposed to hate anyone, okay? But he came in after and he blew us away. Okay. So let's take advantage of what we know. What do we know? The stock's going berserk. Well, why is it going berserk when the product ain't even been released? Because they kind of know what happened with the studies. That's why. Okay, and they're lining up all their friends and family to buy stock and buy more of it if they already had it and all that stuff. That's what's going on. So let's just get the train going full speed, folks. And we got those 2 dates, the 14th and the 28th. And if you still want to go to Kansas City and you're not registered, then come. Okay. One last thing I want to say before I let you go. They kind of threatened us the other day, and I mean that nicely, last week, that they were going to cut off registration on the 4th. I'm being honest. I don't know if that's true, and I don't know if I believe it. I think they're just trying to get as much in so they can plan a little better for what's going to be there attendance-wise. They're saying they're almost out of seats, and maybe they are. Okay, because I know our attendance went from 20 teammates to 40 in the last month. So maybe everybody did that and they are out of seats. Okay, maybe. Or maybe they're just trying to create a little urgency so they don't have to run around like chickens without a head at when we show up, at the gate. Maybe they're looking for a little bit more peace. But right now, there's still seats. And if you're not coming and you want to come, get registered and let's do it. Okay. And we promise the 2 evenings, we'll have fun. We don't know what we're doing yet, but that's never been a problem. We will have fun. So April, you good?
Yeah, somebody just questioned, they asked if they can take our product if they've already taken one of the other GLP-1s. There is a bunch of people that have in that. I had no idea. In our test group of 55, there were already some.
That we're already doing the shot. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them did a great video on it. I was just going to look to see if we put it in Lifespan Matters or not. But, there's some girls talking in depth about, actually, it's Michelle Pose. That's what it is. I remember. If you go back and listen to Michelle Pose, and it says fake. I don't know why it says fake, guys. We have no idea why it says fake.
It's not fake. It's Sean. She was on Sean's account.
Okay.
Sean has always had that on his account. There's nothing fake about it. They just have a second name. It's a joke.
Well, it's just it's bad for marketing that because it upsets people. So anyway, it's on that last video that they did. She goes in length on how she goes back, and then one of the doctors suggested it a little bit different, but they titrate down. So, and I think probably best to ask the doctor they're dealing with right now. So, Zoom, were you gonna say something?
I have a question. The phrase that you were using, the girl was using, you have to be super
size. Yeah.
Size.
She said if you got activated, yeah, Sandy said if you got activated now, those who were already activated got supersized results.
Okay.
In other words, what she's saying, Zuma, when the company did their double blinds on the collagen and got great results, but when they gave it to us, the results were even better. Why? Because we were activated. So they're anticipating the same thing happening. They've gotten great results with their double blinds, but giving it to activated people, it's going to be even better. That's why they're saying that. And we're seeing that, we're seeing, people that have lost 14, 15, 16 pounds in a month, the label and the doctor's guidelines with the shot, and we know a lot of doctors who are doing the shots. They advise never look at the scale, but once a month, and you should expect 5 pounds per month. That's the average weight loss is 5 per month. And they're telling you, don't be looking at the scale every day, weigh yourself once a month. So when you're hearing 10, I'm 11, April 7, April only has to lose. Well, she didn't need to lose nothing, but she wanted to lose 10. Okay. When you're talking about dropping 7 of it in 4 weeks, obviously the activated supersize thing is spot on what Sandy McClure was saying,
One of the things I've been listening also is like, it's not only to lose weight.
It's not.
So that's one of
Many
the
other
key
benefits.
things for me.
And that's part of what they're going to be doing in Kansas City, educational wise. There's many, many other benefits that go with it, So that's all going to be part of Kansas City. They're going to spend a lot of time on that. On training.
She's
But-
doing something right.
So we got 24 hours left to close out the month with the sale. Okay, so make sure people know. And a lot of people are not getting the company emails. And a lot of people, especially customers, they have blocked that email. They're happy with what they got and they just blocked that email. This is a time that you need to reach out to your customers and your old customers, because we think they're getting the message from the company, but it's going into spam, it's going into junk, or they unsubscribed to it. And we think they're getting it and they're not. So a good chance to reach out personally and say, how you doing? How's the family? By the way, did you know? And
Okay, so Dan Carrad said supercharge. So Jay, you could use supercharge.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good thought. Thank you, Dan.
Dan,
All
you
right.
do realize when this product comes out that when it says to take 1 pill, people are going to take 2 or 3. When it says to use 2 scoops, people are going to use 3 and 4. You got to realize it's just how people are. It's the nature of the beast. But I can't wait. I'm telling you, I am so excited with the results, and I'm going to make sure we always have a year's supply sitting in my office so we can never run out. Just like the collagen, we always have a year's supply in the house so we can never run out. But let's finish strong. Mark down October 14th and 28th, and I'll get this recording posted, but I'll get the invites that I posted in the group so that you can use them too. And feel free to make your own. I'm just trying to make things easier for you. If you want to use your own, just not do it. It's just Canva. It's not a big deal. So have a great night, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.